To a continuing investigation that you've only seen on
custom creations.
The new viral TikTok trend that some users are calling a money glitch.
It's a new twist on an old scam.
As laid out in the police report,
are finding stolen Legos, often worth thousands of dollars.
Alright, so what's up everybody and welcome back, and as you saw in the intro, it's a little dramatic, but today I'm going to be talking about the increase in, stolen Legos, which you might be wondering, sounds kind of crazy, who would want to steal Legos, but I'm here to tell you that it does happen, and I'm going to expose who does it and how to avoid it, how to avoid buying stolen Legos, and also if you're a creator, how to avoid getting your model stolen. So without further ado, let's get started. And so it was around 2020 when we started seeing just a huge wave of models being stolen. And a lot of this had to do with the release of a social media platform at the time. You've probably heard of it, TikTok. And this will come back a little bit later in the video, but what I mean by stolen is that creators like myself who spend a lot of time designing models for you guys, well, our designs get stolen online and basically they get reproduced an exact copy actually, just with knockoff Lego bricks instead of real ones, and they get sold in kits often on websites like AliExpress, Alibaba, stuff like that. And the thing is, these models are being sold for an extremely small amount of money. Sometimes it's like $5, and basically what happens is they then get drop shipped and advertised on TikTok. And if you don't know what drop shipping is, it's basically when somebody sets up a store on a site like Amazon or eBay, and they buy these really cheap sets for like $5 a piece on AliExpress and then sell them for more profit there, sometimes $25, $30. And the thing is, when somebody drop ships, they don't even have to touch the product sometimes. They just put in the address and it gets sent directly from the place, usually in China, to the customer. And drop shipping in itself is not the greatest practice, but just doing this with stolen models makes it all the worse. But the thing is, most people don't even know these models are stolen, which makes it just extremely hard to stop this kind of thing. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you might know a little bit better than the average person, but a lot of people on TikTok just see a cool Lego set for a small amount of money, so they buy it not even knowing that it's stolen. And so here are some examples of stolen models that I've found online, and it's really not hard to find these. You can just search it on Google and probably some of the top results will be stolen models. So for example, here's my Nissan S13 that I designed a little while back, listed for around $5 on AliExpress. And here it is, listed once again for $45 this time on a eBay dropshipping site, even though you're getting the exact same thing. Here's another one, my AE86, and here it is on AliExpress once again for a cheap price. And I actually found it on Walmart, surprisingly. Not really sure how that works. That's new, I guess. Here is Brick Engineering Dude, or MCG Works' Mark IV Supra, listed on AliExpress for about $10, and here it is again on a drop shipping site. And that's just to name a few. As you can see, there are actually hundreds of these stolen models being sold on all different sites. And according to what I found, actually, they've been selling pretty well. I don't know if this is made up or anything, but on AliExpress, my S13 said it's been sold about 51 times, which is pretty surprising. I don't know if that's real or not, or if they just put that number up there. But if it is, they are making quite a lot of money on these stolen models. And to investigate this some more, well, I had to do the unthinkable and buy my stolen model. So I purchased my Nissan S13 on AliExpress. It was, as I said, about $5. Not too sure what I'm gonna get for that, but the package is here. I'm gonna open it up and see if it's any good. Actually, of course, no matter what, it's not gonna be good because it's a stolen model, but I'm just gonna see how it is. So let's open it up. Alright, so I just unboxed it. Looks like we've got a bag of parts and some instructions. A few Easter eggs on the box here. You've of course got your classic warning sign, and don't forget about the choking hussar. This baby was made in Zhangzhou, Fujian. Not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but it's made in China. And we've actually got another warning sign right here. That's the package for you. And now I'm gonna see if this is buildable, see how these instructions are. These may actually be an exact copy of my instructions I've put on Rebrickable. I will check with you guys on that, but let's get to it. Alright, so here's the completed model. It's pretty much how I expected. The quality is not great. A lot of the parts are very hard to push together, so that makes building it not easy, and it's also just kind of flimsy. I don't know, that's probably something to do with the quality of these knockoff parts and like the different material it's made out of. So definitely not as good as the original Lego. I don't actually have my genuine S13 mock with me, but I can tell you it's an exact copy. And after you're looking at the instructions, they're actually not copied directly. I wouldn't be surprised honestly if they would just screenshot your instructions and you know, make a print out of it. But what I will say is that every step is pretty much the same parts wise, and just the order of how the car is built is the exact same. So there's definitely somebody who's just looking at my instructions and just pretty much making a exact copy. And that's how I suspect they do it for most of their other stolen models. And so I guess the big question here is, how can you stop this from happening? The main thing is that if you're a customer, just don't buy it. If it's really cheap and if you know it's not from Lego, then it's probably a knockoff and a stolen design. Sadly, this does discredit some of the off-brand Lego brick sellers out there. For example, Kata, they actually make models that are licensed and not stolen. However, whatever this company is, Blocks Brick, I mean, everything they have is basically stolen. So yeah, don't buy these. If you want to buy one of these sets, you can most likely find it on Rebrickable, which is a site where real creators post their instructions on, and it's also where a lot of these sellers basically copy the models from. So if you want to support the real creators, I definitely recommend going to buy the instructions on Rebrickable, and there's a feature where you can basically buy all the genuine Lego parts to build the model. But sadly, as I mentioned, Rebrickable is basically where a lot of these models get stolen in the first place. So if you're a creator, I'll now talk about how to stop your models from being stolen. So you might think premium instructions for one would stop people from stealing your models, as they'd have to basically pay to, you know, get your instructions, but this of course does not. My AE86 has premium instructions and it's been stolen. All they really have to do is just buy it once and they can make it as many times as they want. Another thing that some people do is add watermarks to their pictures or to their instructions. This might help a little bit, it might deter people from stealing your models, but as I mentioned, they do basically make their own instructions, although it's pretty much a copy of the ones that you make. They do make their own, so adding watermarks won't really help. And so I guess the best way to stop your models from being stolen is to make a video tutorial. I know some people won't want to do this, PDF instructions is sometimes easier, but I will mention all of my models that I've made video tutorials on, and ones that I see on YouTube that have video tutorials. I really haven't seen any of those been stolen yet, because it's much harder for them to make instructions off of a video than with just PDF instructions. So you can still put your model on Rebrickable with a tutorial instructions. I've actually done that before. So that does work, and in my opinion, that's the best way to stop your models from being stolen. So yeah, that's really all I have here. If you're well versed in the LEGO community, you might know some of the stuff that's going on. But if you're new here, I guess I hope you learned a little something about how all these stolen models you know, come up, how it works, and just how people sell them, stuff like that. And so I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to support the original mock designers out there. So I do have some more models coming soon, some more trucks and things like that, so stay tuned for that stuff, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.